posted by you/Lunalove89. I, 26F, had been with my boyfriend, 26M, for 3 years, and a few minutes ago, he just dumped me via text. His reasoning was that he found a Facebook profile that was apparently mine, it's not, and accused me of being a lying BTCH who plays games, saying we were done. This completely came out of left field. The last time we spoke, which was not even 2 hours ago, everything seemed fine. I'm a few hours away at the moment because I was visiting my family for Father's Day. I've also been helping my dad because of a car accident that left him disabled. It's been really hard for him, so I decided to spend the weekend with him. My boyfriend had to stay behind because of work. My phone was on vibrate, and I woke up to it vibrating somewhere in my room. He had called twice in a row, which is a little unusual, so I tried to call him back. A part of me was worried something bad had happened because he never calls seconds apart. He forwarded my call to voicemail after one ring, and then I received a string of enraged texts. The first was a picture of a profile of some woman who shares my name, and the rest were filled with anger, accusing me of playing him for a fool and declaring that he was done playing games. Firstly, the woman in the picture looks nothing like me. She has black hair and blue eyes, while I have auburn hair and green eyes. I also have a beauty mark above my lip on the left-hand side, and this woman has none. My boyfriend blocked my number, Facebook, and all other means of contact, and I am at a loss. This is all very sudden, and all I feel is anger and pain. I don't want my dad to hear me crying, he already has enough on his plate to deal with. For some background, my boyfriend cheated on me a few months into the relationship, and I didn't learn about it until a year later. I ended up forgiving him, and things seemed fine. He was remorseful and did his damnedest to regain my trust. I can't help but wonder if he did this because he did something wrong and is looking for an excuse, or if he wanted to dump me so he could cheat without technically cheating. Tomorrow is his birthday, too. I wonder if he just wants to be free for that day. It just makes me cry. I won't be taking him back. No way in hell. He's living in my house, and nothing is in his name, he can screw off. Right now, I'm kind of shattered because I invested so much time and emotion in this person. I forgave him when he cheated on me, and now he's pulling random Facebook profiles out of nowhere to use as an excuse to break up with me and accuse me of being the shady one. What can I do to help myself? I'm really at a loss right now. Update 1 day later. Thank you all for your encouraging words and wisdom, it's helped a lot. This morning, 6 other people, including my brothers and my uncle, went with me to my house. My ex was sitting in his computer room playing League of Legends, seemingly oblivious that I had come home and that anyone had entered the room. I promptly tapped him on the shoulder and asked him to turn off the game and pack his things. He shrugged my hand off and continued talking to his teammates through what I assume was Skype or TeamSpeak. My patience for his nonsense was long gone, so I bent down and unplugged the surge protector from the wall. My ex flung the headset I had bought him off his head, and it bounced off his monitor. He stood up, screaming that it was a ranked game and that I was ruining his stats, or whatever else he was ranting about. My brother stepped between us and told him he had 10 minutes to pack his things, and only his things, before we called the cops to have him removed. We all stepped out of the room and watched him unplug his computer and neatly stack his belongings. At one point, he tried to take my Ethernet cable, and I firmly stopped him and told him that's mine. A friend brought in a box, and we watched him go through the house collecting the few things he owned, all while texting furiously on his phone. It turns out he was posting some nasty comments on Facebook, but whatever, that's childish, and I'm letting it roll off my back. He tossed the box of clothes, sneakers, and DVD/console games into the back seat of his beat-up 1995 Honda and then made a dramatic process out of taking his computer to the car. He seemed more concerned about his League of Legends game and his computer than about me. He didn't make eye contact or speak to me. There was just an air of hostility I can't even explain. I can't comprehend how someone could suddenly hold such animosity towards someone they supposedly loved. I sat on the stairs watching him go back and forth while my friend Jess recorded the entire process on her phone, just in case. It was really hard. I felt anger bubbling beneath the indifferent exterior I was trying to maintain. Part of me wanted to throw an egg at the back of his smug head, but I knew it wasn't worth it. He wasn't worth it, neither my anger nor my energy. The whole ordeal took about 15 minutes, and we all watched from my lawn as he drove away. My uncle gave me a big hug before leaving, and the rest of us ate pizza and watched TV. As uneventful as it was, the whole experience was emotionally draining. It's easy to feel okay when people are around to keep my mind occupied, but when I'm alone, what he did keeps popping into my head, and I start to feel anxious. I tossed all my bedding and sprayed the couches and chairs with deodorizer in a, probably futile, attempt to get rid of any lingering negativity he might have left behind. I know it's irrational, lol. Today, I'm heading to Bed Bath & Beyond to buy new bedding and treat myself. I've realized that being with him kept me from truly loving myself because I was too preoccupied with appeasing him. Anytime I treated myself, Whether it was new clothes, a game, or makeup, he would respond with suspicion. It was all in his messed up head. Being alone after such a long relationship is daunting, but I know I'll be fine, if not better than ever, now that I've cut that toxic influence out of my life. I've also set a boundary with my friends and family. I don't want to hear anything about him. A friend texted me saying he's flooding Facebook with pictures of himself smiling and pretending to be happy. I don't care. If he's content living in his mom's basement and cheating on good women with trash, so be it. In the end, whether it's 6 months, a year, or 5 years from now, something will click in his brain, and he'll realize the massive mistake he made. And yes, as petty as it sounds, I hope it makes him miserable. I'll be changing my locks, even though I took his copy of the keys. I'm also adding extra security, just in case. When he was a teenager, he vandalized the homes of people he didn't like, and based on his behavior, I wouldn't put it past him to do something similar again. Tomorrow, I'm going to the doctor to get tested. I don't feel like anything's wrong, but I'm not taking chances. This has been a life lesson. He hasn't ruined my future relationships. If anything, he's done me a favor by raising my standards and reinforcing my self-worth. I know what to look out for now, and I know the kind of person I deserve. Thank you again, everyone. Your advice and support brought up so many great points, and it's helped me tremendously. Commenter. For real, though, isn't it, like, illegal to force someone to leave their living accommodations within 10 minutes under threat of violence? If the police had actually been called and it was explained to them that he had been living there and they wanted him to stop living there, they wouldn't be able to remove him immediately, depending on the jurisdiction. Ops response. It probably is. Knowing him, he wouldn't put the time and effort into pursuing it legally. The guy is inherently lazy. It was documented that he bragged about moving out on his own accord and leaving my pathetic bitchiness behind on his Facebook wall. So, if he really did try to take it to court, I would show the judge those screenshots. He wasn't under threat of violence, though. He threw property in anger and came at me aggressively. Everyone handled the matter very peacefully, and while it probably is immature to toss him out without forewarning, I'm just happy the leech is gone.